really push me to my limit. Actually, I love that too.
I mean, you've got a great story to tell, and we're going to get onto that in a minute. But the first thing I want to talk about is, let's be honest, you're a little bit older than my teenage son.
Mm-hmm.
You used to live in a bloody teepee.
Sort of.
Or was it a yurt? I don't know. Well, you're the last person. You're the last person I'd expect to see up to his elbows in the internet.
Well, I mean, in some ways, we haven't got a lot of money for advertising, and so social media is so important to us. And I've been told by my team, I've got to generate content. So I'm actually right up to my elbows in social media, completely.
And for the EcoStore business, what do you use? What sort of channels do you use to connect with people and tell people about your products?
Well, I've got my own channels, and EcoStore has its own channels as well. So in on Facebook, we in New Zealand, for example, we've got 29,000 people following us, and that's up from 19,000 just a year ago. In Australia, we've got 12,000. Hong Kong, we've got 1,100. Taiwan, 2,000, and we're on Weibo now too.
So so Weibo is a Chinese, not just Chinese, but also Chinese language social media platform. How does that work? How do you? I mean, you're a clever guy, but I'm guessing you don't speak Chinese yourself.
No, we've got someone called Derek who is Chinese, who came to us on a placement a year and a half ago, and we loved him so much. He's full time because we are into China this year. And so what we're doing, we're pre-broadcasting our ideas, our philosophy, and what's great about on Weibo up to 12 months before we even hit China.
So in the olden days, you might have run a tease TV campaign or a billboard campaign or whatever, but nowadays you're just doing it through this online platform, and people are sitting there on the train or sitting there in their lecture looking at their phone, and there's your message.
And the amazing thing about China is already we're actually selling $300,000 worth of product in China, and we haven't sent anything there ourselves yet.
Okay, so I mean to go. So how are you doing there? So what are they? Is this the new milk powder? Because it used to be that people would smuggle in, not smuggle in, but so people are taking it back themselves.
New Zealand Chinese people are sending it by the carton back to their family, and the equivalent of Trade Me in China, and we're selling over $300,000 a year of our product, mainly our baby products. So you're right about the milk powder.
Yep.
And we haven't even gone there ourselves.
So what are those baby products that you're selling?
Well, we do a whole range. We do a shampoo, we do a body wash, we do a nappy balm, we do a soap, we do, we've got a whole range of, and we're in New Zealand, Australia, around the world with these baby products.
And I guess this will step into the bigger story of, what is it about EcoStore? Oh, this sounds like an advertorial. But what is it? It's not. I'll ask the hard questions. The hard questions are just down the track. What is it about the stuff you make, here in New Zealand that makes it worth, shipping halfway around the world to China, where I'm guessing there's no shortage of soap?
Well, we make a promise that we will not poison you.
Well, that's reassuring. That's reassuring. So immediately there, I sort of asked the question. The $2.99 Woolworths home brand shampoo that I lathered myself with before coming down tonight. What is that going to poison me? I'm not asking you to assassinate a competitor, but generally speaking,
the world is awash with chemicals that have come around since World War II, which never been tested, and when they are tested, they're upsetting your immune system. They're mucking up your hormones. It's quite a scandal, and why EcoStore has been so successful around the world is that people start using our products, their eczemas disappear, their rashes go away. They just become. It's a wellness product.
So how did you get to this point? I mean, you weren't born thinking that palm olive gold was bad and you needed to make an alternative. Was there a sort of a light bulb moment for you?
There was actually. It was we started from a permaculture eco village, which I was there this afternoon. I've just come back from, and so it's still home. And the products we were using were about looking after the waterways. That's where it started. Just a pure eco play. We'd been in business only within months, and we started getting phone calls and letters. This is 1993, so people.
So this is just literal cottage industry. This is
As
just,
a
this
cottage
is just
industry-
The two of you with some tallow or whatever you use, mixing up some soap.
Well, we weren't making themselves. So we'd chosen lots of small players right around New Zealand, and we just chose the very, very best of the eco players and put them together in a mail order catalogue,
Right.
and sent it out from our little eco village. So we could service the whole of New Zealand, and we kind of needed 4 million people, because only probably 1 in 100,000 would ever buy dishwashing liquid from some hippie up north, But we just grew and grew, came to Auckland, grew bigger, and now we're in every supermarket in New Zealand. We're in 1,800 supermarkets in Australia. We're in Asia and the USA.
So in the, I can't do the maths, was it 17 years or so? How many?
21 years.
In the 21 years since you got into the game,
Yes.
it seems to me like everyone else has. You can get eco-friendly green versions of Monsanto products with little dolphins on the packaging nowadays, right?
Yes.
So how do you stand apart when used to be the only guy in town, and now there's a huge range of eco choices?
Well, many of them are greenwash, and I won't talk about any particular competitors, but I mean, the thing is that we are very science-based. We've had Sir Ray Avery working on ours, and we've had really some of the top scientists in the world working on our products, and so we just have got to be the best. And being small is actually an advantage. Our competitors are $100 billion companies, but the multinationals are quite slow. We can be nimble, we can be ahead of the game, and because of that, we're getting some amazingly big partners around the world wanting to give us their research, because we can be the first to market.
So who actually buys the stuff? I mean, you said at the outset that you're looking at 1 in 100,000 when you started, but now it's a little bit more mainstream, yeah.
It is. I mean, probably in the biggest part of the supermarket, there might be 11% of the population buys eco-friendly, and of that, 50% of that will buy EcoStore, and the other 50%, there's about 6 or 7 other eco players doing the other 50%.
I was reading something the other day. It really interested me. In fact, it was a year ago, and it stayed with me, and I keep coming back to it, about how eco products and anything environmental is quite tightly linked with left-wing politics. And the reason I say this, I know you're rolling your eyes, but and if you're watching youtube.com/Vaughan Davis TV, you will see that he's rolling his eyes, and you can text me about it on 3920. You might win a prize. There was a study done there that showed when they were selling energy efficient light bulbs.
Right.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. And Republicans and Democrats were both equally likely to buy these light bulbs at a certain price.
Yep.
No difference at all, because it made good sense. Buy a $5 light bulb, save $10 worth of electricity. Really good rational argument. But when they stuck a sticker on these light bulbs saying good for the planet, the Republicans stayed away from them in droves, because they associated that left-wing, those environmental messaging, with left-wing politics.
And that is why, for us, looking after the environment, it was sort of of course.
Yep.
And so therefore, it's, as I said, we're paranoid about what chemicals end up on your skin. And because of that, we actually reject 50% of the eco chemicals because they do not pass our tests. So it's not just environment, we are paranoid about the health of the people who use EcoStore products.
Right. So it's not just about the dolphins, it's about you not coming out in a rash.
Exactly right. It's not about your endocrine system being mucked up, about your boys not being able to have babies anymore, about asthma. All those things are coming about the mix of chemicals in modern life is actually mucking up our health like you would not believe.
Okay. After the break, I want to talk not so much about your cleaning products and your household products and things, but about your vision for how people could live differently. And that really interests me. And don't forget, if you would like to win one of 10 EcoStore prizes, just text your name and address to 3920. Tweet me at Vaughan Davis and you go in the draw. I'm Vaughan Davis. This is Sunday Social. Back soon.
Daytime Talk with Willie Jackson and Alison Moore.
He was inevitably going to die soon, and he could either be wasted or utilised by the local people. I chose to honour his life by providing others with his uses, and I don't regret it for a second.
Personally, I'm not a fan of killing big game in Africa, but of course, a great many people are.
Somebody who likes to pose smiling pictures of themselves next to dead animals, exotic animals, on Facebook is really the devil's spawn. Well, that's how she's had death threats and all sorts.
Yeah, well, that's stupid.
Join Willie Jackson and Alison Moore discussing and debating what's important to you. Weekdays midday till 3 on Radio Live.
Okay. Oh, I can see it playing down.
It's Sunday Social, an hour dedicated to social media with Vaughan Davis.
And welcome back to Sunday Social. Vaughan Davis in the studio with Mr. Malcolm Rands from EcoStore. Welcome back, Malcolm.
Thank you, Vaughan.
Now, I will say it again, there's still a couple of those prize packs left from EcoStore, the shampoo, the conditioner, and 2 bars of soap. You're going to come out squeaky clean. And all you got to do to go in the draw is text us here at Radio Live 39 for that awesome prize if you're one of the 10 we pull out of the hat. If you're on Twitter, tweet me at Vaughan Davis. Now, Malcolm, you've recently, in the last few years, your thinking has gone beyond just, what we scrub ourselves up with in the shower to how we actually live.
Yes. What do you mean by that? What are you trying to say?
Well, when we were talking at TED, you had a bit of a vision as to how communities might evolve in the future. How communities might evolve.
Well, EcoStore was set up quite unusually for a business. I mean, I wanted a capitalist business that can turn on a dime, be very fast, responsive, with ethics. But right from the beginning, it was to fund a not-for-profit. And so you're thinking about the Fairground Foundation and
Yeah.
the project we're
Yeah.
working at right now. In fact, we've got a piece of land we've even spat on at the moment. We haven't quite
Is
got it.
that a thing you do? Is it you spit it? You go and spit on the
Oh,
land?
the first person who spits on the land,
I've never heard of that.
Oh yes, it's a very, very powerful thing to do. Maybe 40 houses, and the idea is we set up a 40 house development downtown Auckland. This one's looking like Avondale, so quite close to downtown.
Isn't it? Avondale's not exactly downtown Auckland.
Oh, it is.
That's right.
It's 10 minutes from the railway station, for example.
There you go.
And it's the new Grey Lynn, Avondale Heights. Everyone's pouring in there at the moment, so it is quite central. Central's changing.
Yep. So what's the point? Is this you just become a property developer now?
I have become a property developer, and so the houses, of course, will be completely eco, and they'll probably send electricity back to the community and clean water. But the main thing I'm trying to do here, because anyone can do that, is actually set up a neighbourhood, somewhere where you feel you can belong without feeling any pressure. It'll be full of what's called bump spaces. When you're there, you'll just be bumping into your neighbours, and from that, relationships will form. And the idea is we're even looking at doing a TV program about this. We'll sell out, educate people. We'll actually have a waiting list for the next one. But the main thing we're going to do is we're going to make money like a property developer out of it the first time we do it. And then all the other property developers in town will say, God, if that idiot Rands can do it.
If he can do it with clean water and solar and
imagine
all that stuff.
if a real person like me did it, and so they'll want to follow us. And if I was a normal business, I'd keep my intellectual property for myself. But seeing we're doing it through our foundation, if anyone else wants to copy us, we'll say, here's my IP, here's all the mistakes I made, here's my supply chain, go out and follow us. And we'll actually use commerce to make the change we want in our society.
So all going well, when do you reckon you'll have this thing built and people in it?
By the end of next year, if everything goes well.
Okay, that's pretty swift. You talk a lot about bump space and physical connectivity and neighbourhoods and running into people. What's your take on the value of online community?
Well, I think, because we've actually lost our communities every day, we actually are looking. Everyone wants community. It's a fundamental human right, but we don't want to feel overcommitted, but we want to be part of it. And that's why like soap operas are so important, because
I don't have a family, but I've got all my friends down the range, the Rovers Return.
That's right. And even celebrities, we're actually earning it. So therefore, any way that you can actually have a community, and community today can be completely different. It can be the people living next door, yes, but it can be your friends on Facebook or, so I think community is so fundamental to humans. We are searching for it in lots of different ways.
And do you think the online community is a decent substitute for that physical?
I'm actually surprised. The more I am on Facebook in particular, I have to say, good old Facebook. I'm actually getting quite a connection to people I hardly know. Like of my old friends.
Well, you are a celebrity.
But I mean, a lot of people, I'm on Facebook every day because it's my business to be there, but two, because I actually enjoy it. And the funny thing is, it's changed. It's not sort of what I did today. Some of the most interesting news, and I'm actually getting through Facebook these days.
So you're turning to Facebook as not just as a place to connect in a community thing, but as a news source.
That's right. Sort of like thought leadership is coming to me through Facebook, which I never thought would happen. But I suppose it's the friends you choose.
Well, I suppose Mark Zuckerberg never expected that either. He just set it up to decide, which chicks were hot and which chicks were not.
Exactly right.
So it's kind of what else do you do online as a mature former yurt dweller?
Well, I've got two ways of doing it. If I'm doing a photograph or a video, straight away, I'm actually going to.
Because you're looking down at your iPhone 6 Plus there, which is the schmickiest phone in town.
That's right. So if I go visual, I'll put online, and it'll just be Facebook and Twitter. But if I've got more of an thought leadership, I'm actually going to Hootsuite, and that, because that goes out to all the different channels I have in one go.
Right. So Hootsuite is like an aggregator that allows you to just put one message or photo or whatever, and then get sent on multiple platforms with one click.
That's right. Yeah.
So you've become your own media channel.
I've become my own media channel, and then my team, we've got this most amazing team at EcoStore. We've actually got 4 people on our Digi team now. We've actually got a team of 4, and they sometimes sample what I do myself and put it into the main EcoStore stream as well.
Could you unplug personally?
I every now and then I do a detox.
You do. you and that bloody Ariana Huffington with your detoxes. Yeah, tell me about that. Tell me why. First, tell me why you think you have to do it.
Well, once I actually got a pad, that was my big downfall, because the pad ends up.
What, an iPad?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't an iPad. That's what I just said.
A tablet.
A tablet. A tablet's the word. Once I got a tablet, that was the biggest downfall for me, because it ends up in your bed, and the bed used to be the place where I used to read books.
Yep.
And I love reading books. And what I found with the tablet is suddenly I'm just jumping around all over the place, a bit of this, a bit of that. And I started losing my concentration for reading books. I was quite amazed. So what I've done now is every night at 9:30, no more blue lights, no TV,
so
no screens.
I've heard about this, the effect of blue lights on disrupting your sleep-wake patterns.
Yes, circadian
so
rhythms.
It's a true thing.
Yeah, it's completely a true thing, because the only time in nature you get light thrown at you is the sun,
and blue light would be dawn, right?
And
so it's waking you up.
It's waking up, and so therefore it mucks up your circadian rhythms. And so therefore, if you're looking at blue lights, whether it's a TV or whether it's your iPhone or whatever, within an hour before sleep, it's sort of really mucked up your cycle. And so I do at least an hour before I go to bed.
Okay, at least an hour before you go. And what about longer unplugs, longer detoxes?
Well, I actually used to have a wonderful thing where in our eco village up in Northland, we couldn't get any singles. So suddenly, I wasn't getting my phone. So the only
did you say singles or signal?
Signal, I meant to say.
Yeah,
sorry, signal. I meant, not singles. So yeah, I'm not talking about a singles bar here. I'm talking about. So and that was particularly in my phone, which is the easiest one to just pick up and look at, isn't it? That's the number one go-to, isn't it? And so therefore, it was only going on the internet, which is opening up your laptop. So therefore, that was easy. But now technology's got to me, so I'm actually getting everything's live now. So it's harder, a lot harder now. So you have to make a very conscious effort to do it.
Is it making you more or less happy?
I think it's making me more happy, George.
Okay,
I really do. Yeah. And I'm starting to read again too. And I kind of lost it for a couple of years, but now I can sit down and I can read a book and get lost. I used to, one of my great pleasures in life is getting lost in a novel. And I lost that for a while, which was a bit of a tragedy.
Because of the way you were consuming stuff on the internet?
Yeah, I just was flicking around. I think, I've been reading a book for a while. I think, I'll look at my phone, or I'll play a little game, or,
I've read a page. That's enough.
That's enough,
I'll go and see how the Angry Birds is getting on.
Exactly right. You've got it.
Hey, Malcolm, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
It was wonderful to be here.
It feels like we could talk for the rest of the hour, but we're not gonna. Hey, remember, if you want to win those prize packs, or one of those 10 prize packs from Eco Store, just text me 3920 keyword live with your name and address. Don't forget the keyword live. And tweet me if you're a Twittery tweeter at Vaughan Davis, and you go in the draw to win 10 prizes. You will not do better than that. After the break, open your browsers, your app stores, and your minds, as I'm joined by Simone McCallum to walk you through the online news of the week. Plus, you got to get this, the Taylor Swift porn website news you need to know. Back soon.
Be entertained. Be fully informed. Drive home with Dungana.
Talk me through this, because this is significant, isn't it?
This is a large amount of drugs coming into New Zealand, significant by size, but not unexpected in some respects.
Talk me through the sting. Who are these people?
These are two different operations, both emanating out of China.
Are we too soft on drugs? Look what's happening in Bali. Now, I'm not suggesting that we go and shoot people, but I wonder if we are seen as a soft touch. They're not taking it through Bali, are they? They're coming here. Maybe we're too soft.
Drive home with Duncan Garner. Weekdays, 3 till 6 on Radio Live. It's Sunday Social. Everything you need to know about social media with Vaughan Davis.
And welcome back to Sunday Social. I'm Vaughan Davis. And don't forget tonight, the prizes are falling from the sky like prizes. From Eco Store, we've got a total of 10 prize packs with shampoo, conditioner, 2 bars of soap. You're going to be squeaky clean. All you need to do to go in the draw is tweet me at Vaughan Davis or text 3920 keyword live with your name and address, and you are in the draw. And of course, you can watch along tonight, very high tech, youtube.com/Vaughan Davis TV. Too many addresses, too much complicate. Hey, Simone, welcome.
Hi.
Simone McCallum from ASB runs the social media show down there. Somehow manages to fit in a mothering career and a whole lot of running.
Is mothering a career?
I don't know.
I
sort of ad-libbed that bit.
Oh, it sounds like a career.
It does sound like a career.
It's a very hard job and but very rewarding.
Very rewarding.
Very rewarding.
That's right. You're a bit of an Instagrammer.
A little bit.
When something takes your fancy, when the cat does something.
Yeah, I Instagrammed today.
Did you? What did you Instagram?
Some braids.
There you go. Hairdos.
Yes. Hair inspo, as it's called.
I feel like we're in the same demographic. I Instagrammed some Anzac biscuits yesterday, so that's the sort of thing I Instagrammed.
Very topical.
Very topical. Down in Wanaka, they've been using Instagram as an advertising channel. And I found this fascinating. They ran a thing called an Instameet. And what they did, and they didn't invent this. I did a bit of research, and Queensland Tourism did one last year as well. And Instameet is where you fly people from all over the world who are really into Instagram, have lots of Instagram followers, and just say, here, take a photo of that.
Yeah, I guess that's a promotional Instameet. You do have informal, casual Instameets kind of catch-ups all over the show. They happen all the time. They happen in Auckland. People from, locally in Auckland will have an Instameet catch-up, and there'll be a hashtag, and they'll all kind of catch up as a group and
go down to watch the sunset or watch the
and do their photos, and it's like a tweet up.
It is.
So those good old days.
Yeah. So a tweet up was something that sort of were in vogue 4 or 5 years ago, where just people from Twitter would meet because they were people from Twitter. That's back when it was kind of geeky and nichey, and you knew everyone. But this Instameet, the idea of it was they flew people from all around the world, and between them they had 2 million followers. And the idea was that rather than, buy a TV ad, which Wanaka Tourism might not be able to afford, they just buy a few air tickets, put up a few hotel rooms, and hope they'll take really, really good pictures. So, I mean, you work, for a bank, a big brand. Is this the sort of thing that big brands get into increasingly these days?
Yeah, I mean, that's, a bit of brand advocacy, I guess, or some social influencer outreach. And, the reach that those people would have of their photos, and particularly, I guess, their audiences are people who living overseas and love really scenic pictures, and potentially they're selling Wanaka as a destination to a group of people that haven't seen Wanaka before.
Yeah, and the people that brought over are people who typically take photos of beautiful places, and if you're following them, it's because you're into beautiful places. So Wanaka becomes one of those. Interestingly, Wanaka wasn't very clear on whether or not they paid them, but I was having a look at what Queensland did, and they were paying up to $1,000 US per day to people to come over on Instagram.
But you'd have to do that, otherwise why would they wouldn't want to?
Well, they do. No, they do it for the travel. They do it for the travel. They take time off their job, whatever their job is, these top Instagrammers, and get their business class flights to New Zealand or Queensland or Morocco or wherever, spend a couple of days taking photos and go home.
Yeah, but they'd absolutely have to have their expenses paid.
Oh, yeah, expenses.
Why don't you just pop down here?
Yeah. But this is $1,000 cash on top of that. But that is chicken feed compared to this next story, and this just absolutely blew me away. So this popped up yesterday. In fact, we might play the audio first if Corin's got that lined up. Let's just play that and see what people think.
To Charlie's Crafty Kitchen, where you can eat what you make.
Today, welcome to Charlie's Crafty Kitchen. Today we're making shark jelly. Today our ingredients are some jelly, some Cool Whip, some cups, and
some shark. First, we're going to put shark coating.
So far, that sounds like what your daughters might do if they were given a camera and some cooking ingredients and a kitchen bench.
And it pretty much is, except for perhaps they're not earning as much as this particular channel, which is amazing. This little girl, she's 8, and her sister is 5. So it's Charlie and her sister Ashley, and they are so super cute. And they make these little cooking videos. And Ashley, I quite like Ashley. She's a little 5-year-old.
She's precocious.
She's the chief taste tester, and she really looks forward to the tasting. And they make these videos 1 a week, and stick them on the YouTube channel. They've been doing it since September 2012. So
From back when they were young.
A couple of years, 2.5 years.
Yep.
And according to one of the media companies that put out some stats the other day, they're making, wait for it, $127,000 per month.
$127,000 US per month for making recipes that mainly involve jelly and whipped cream.
It's pretty amazing.
That's absolutely amazing. So let's just back up a bit and give a bit of context for this. So the way this works, this is these two girls are what are known as YouTubers, and this is another one of these communities like your Instagrammers. So a YouTuber is someone who has a YouTube channel, or like youtube.com/VaughanDavisTV, and uploads special interest videos. So there might be cooking videos, there might be tech videos, there might be makeup videos, and we'll talk a bit about that. They don't pay YouTube. YouTube doesn't pay them unless they get a lot of people looking at the site. And when they do get a lot of people looking at the site, they're also looking at the ads. And people are paying a lot of money to have their ads on these YouTube channels. And the owner gets a little slice. I was just looking at the numbers. The video we just listened to, it's been up a little while, got 3 million views. 3 million views is quite a lot for a YouTube channel. It's not Gangnam Style, but it's more than your average Air New Zealand safety video or whatever. But their most popular video, and this sort of dubiously featured Frozen themed popsicles. I don't know how they get around the IP, intellectual property and copyright there, got 57 million views.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's absolutely astounding.
These 2 little girls, Australian girls.
Yeah, Australian girls.
Just doing it in the kitchen with mum. Mum's doing all the producing and editing and posting and commenting and all the rest.
Charlie's Crafty Kitchen. So don't worry about encouraging your kids to do their homework. Just get a decent webcam.
And I thought it was pretty interesting that Jamie Oliver was down there at number 10.
Behind these kids.
On the cooking list. Yeah, behind these kids who were number 1. He was number 10. He has around about 6.9 million views. And they have 29 million views a month. And he has 6.9 million. Jamie Oliver is officially old hat. Hey, so moving on, just before the break, moving on from YouTube onto Facebook. Now, Facebook has, I guess the link here is children. Facebook has become, for many of us, the place where we store, I suppose, pictures of our kids, because Facebook's got this great albums thing. And it's really easy to get your photos from your phone onto Facebook. And what a lot of people forget is also Facebook has unlimited image storage. There's no limit to the number of pictures you can have on there. So people use it as a place to store their baby photos. And kind of deliberately, but kind of inadvertently, it also means they share their baby photos. And this got a woman from Perth in a bit of strife. Yeah, she. This was in the news earlier this week, and so some of your listeners might have already heard about it. But she was gushingly posting photos of her little baby left, right and centre and all over the place. And in the mailbox, the actual mailbox, the one out on the street, she got a letter from some of her friends who said, hey, we think that you are kind of oversharing and we don't want to see all those baby photos, so we're really looking forward to when you're going back to work because you won't have so much time to post on Facebook.
Was the baby not very pretty?
It doesn't really matter whether the baby was the babies are always pretty to their mothers. So
I guess that's kind of the point, isn't it? When you're the mother, the baby's always gorgeous.
Yes.
And when you're the mother or the father, you can't get enough of those photos.
Oh, absolutely. Well, they're a mini you, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. So, exactly. Look what I made.
You like yourself.
Yeah, like me, like my baby. But she didn't react very well to that. She wasn't very pleased to receive a letter through a letterbox.
No, I think it's a bit cowardly, really, of a friend to
unsigned
to put that into your letterbox rather than I don't know, message you, or there's other ways of doing it. But equally, if you have a friend who's doing that and oversharing a lot, then you just quite simply just click on that little button on the right hand side of each post and say, which gives you the option to say, I want to see less of this.
Yes, so that's a really really good tip. So if Vaughan's posting 10 pictures of his Anzac biscuits every day, but you don't want to unfriend Vaughan because, that's sort of mean, and you don't want to stop all posts, you can just go, I want to see less.
See less of it. And so you'll only see like the things that have got heaps and heaps of likes. And so it might be, I just got a new job, or I'm engaged, or, those big announcements that get loads and loads of interactions and likes and comments. You'll probably see those, but you won't see all the rest of here's my, baby wearing her new dress today.
So that's a really cool tip for people who are sick of Vaughan's baby, puppy, goats, or Anzac biscuits. What about the person doing the posting? How can they kind of protect their friends from the onslaught? They still want the stuff to go up. They still want Granny in America to see the stuff, but they don't want to spam their mates.
Yeah, you can create little lists on Facebook, and that's a little bit more of extra admin. But you can create lists of friends and put all your friends and family and your people that who want to see all those kinds of photos into one list. And so when you're posting, you can kind of select which group you want to share a photo with, and so select that group. So it is a little bit more of admin, but then if you are getting feedback like this lady was getting, then it might be a good idea.
That might be the thing. Hey, now finally before the break, and don't forget, if you want to win those EcoStore prizes, text 3920 keyword live with your name and address, or tweet me at Vaughan Davis. Before the break, I promised you this. I'm going to play a bit of music first, and then I'm going to give the news you've been waiting for.
Because the players gonna play, and the haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake it off.
That, if you are below 50, or above 50, I have to tell you, was Taylor Swift with her hit Shake It Off. And the reason we played that is because Taylor Swift has been getting into the porn business. Yes, indeed. She or her people have been buying up website names such as taylorswift.adult and taylorswift.porn. She's not the only one. All sorts of celebrities and companies and people all around the world have been doing this. And the reason they're doing it, I don't know if I'm disappointing you or enlightening you here, the reason they're doing that is so someone else doesn't. So the .porn and the .adult extensions, we call them, so instead of .com or .co.nz, have only recently become available. So people like Taylor Swift are buying them so the bad guys can't. Gee, I feel like new idea with a clickbaiting headline with that.
Tabloid. Very tabloid.
Very tabloid.
Very tabloid for a Sunday.
You'll never guess what happened next. Hey, I'll tell you what's going to happen next. Some ads, and then we're going to talk about the apps and websites of the week. I'm Vaughan Davis, Sunday Social. Back soon.
Robust, intelligent, and entertaining newsmaker interviews every day. Sean Plunkett.
I've got a close friend that has had a gender reassignment.
Yeah, from man to woman?
It was ultimate male. I was so proud to know this person is a male, amazing man, happily married, the works. Fantastic individual. Disappears for 18 months, find out he's getting a sex change.
Do you miss your mate, though?
No, I still got my mate. It just happens to be a female mate instead of a male mate.
The most entertaining newsmaker interviews on New Zealand radio. Sean Plunkett, 9 till midday on Radio Live. Sunday Social, an hour dedicated to social media with Vaughan Davis.
And yes, indeed. Don't worry, be happy. There's a bazillion rubbish apps out there, but every week we come up with a couple that are worth your time. Simone.
Hi.
ASB. Your teasy thing. I noticed a post on the on my newsfeed from ASB from Facebook the other day with a rather lovely picture of an Apple Watch and an Android watch, what looked very much like an ASB banking app right there on the watch. That's a bit Get Smart, isn't it?
Isn't it? Is it? Is it? It is.
You didn't give much away on Facebook, I'll be honest. But I'm
we're just
guessing,
asking people, which team were they on, iOS or Android? It's good to see loads of responses.
and how did that actually go? What was the popular one from your followers?
We probably have to go through them all, but we had pretty even spread, I think. It's good to see both people, both sides, and not many people asking for one on a BlackBerry. But
True. I guess the bottom line is the Apple Watch comes out in just under a week.
I don't think they've released
Or
the
maybe delayed.
New Zealand dates yet, but certainly they went on sale a little while ago in the US and sold out almost instantly in store and online. So I think we might be waiting a little while, but once they come, they'll be here.
Very
and
cool.
Will you be getting one, Vaughan?
Oh, you know me, I can't resist that sort of stuff. I can't resist it. I will be getting one. Hey, an app that you've been playing around a little bit, and I saw that you and your daughters have both, all three of you, been playing around with it. Is an app that simulates makeup.
Yes, this is called L'Oreal Makeup Genius app. And it's a little app from L'Oreal, which you install on your device, free to install. And it scans your face when you're using your camera, and then you can just kind of apply all these different makeup looks. So there's a whole range of pre-selected makeup looks. So you can try out winged eyeshadow or smoky eyes.
I love the smoky eye. I'm going to
different-
try out the smoky eye.
Yeah, well, of course, it's not limited to women by any stretch of the imagination. It's just any face. I didn't try it on my cat, to be honest, but and so you can try them out to see what they will look like on you. It's really clever. It doesn't just kind of paint them on where it thinks your eye will be. It's because as you move your face around, while it simulates this makeup on your face, it moves as well. And as you blink your eyelids, you can see
the eyeshadow.
The
Now
eyeshadow
that's
and
cool
stuff. It's
because
really quite clever.
I've only ever seen screenshots of it, and that could just be a still photo that this has been applied on. But what it is kind of 3D mapping of this stuff.
It was very clever, and yeah, as you say, my kids had to go with it, and they were entranced with it, and much better to have them using that than my expensive cosmetics from, in my makeup bag.
Yeah.
So they were playing around with that. Great, good fun, and you can buy straight from within the app, and so that's obviously.
I was
the
going to
idea.
ask that. That's the
Yeah,
end game, right?
you
So rather than
can-
go to Smith and Co or whatever and spend half an hour trying stuff on at the makeup counter.
You can flick through and change the color of the lipstick or the eyeliner or whatever. But buy is not supported in New Zealand as yet, so it must be a US only thing. But they've got how-to videos on how to apply your makeup as well. So yeah, quite a nifty little app. I really enjoyed it, but honestly, it gave me such a fright to see my little 8-year-olds fully made up. It was quite scary.
It was a disturbing glimpse into your future.
It was. Oh my gosh! I got a few years to wait for that.
Because makeup, I'd be interesting. Malcolm's gone now, but it'd be interesting to know what Malcolm made of that, because he wouldn't be a big fan of makeup, would he?
Himself?
Well, philosophically.
Well, I guess no. I mean, you get a lot of makeup that can be just all natural products and good for your skin and all those kinds of things as well. So.
And another place where makeup collides with the internet, and we should spend a whole show talking about this, is the whole idea of makeup YouTubers.
Oh yes, they are a big channel, and I think you'll see from that, or that when we're talking about Charlie's Crafty Kitchen, where you can eat what you make.
Yep.
There was also a list of the top makeup and cosmetic YouTubers. The top one, I checked her out. I can't tell you what her name is because it was Spanish. That was all in it was all in Spanish, and she was quite a little feisty wee thing as well.
And then how many million views was she getting?
Oh, gazillions, like like what our New Zealand Shannon, she was not even on that
was
list.
not even on the list.
So,
and
of
the
the
interesting
top
thing
10.
is the makeup brands are twigging to this, and they're using these people as channels, and they're basically becoming paid promotion. Authentic and convincing, but still paid promotion. Hey, that brings us to the end of episode 61 of Sunday Social. Thanks, Malcolm Rands, coming in earlier on. The interview is up at radiolive.co.nz under shows and Sunday Social. From ASB, Simone McCallum, love having you here every time. Tech producer Karen Black, and the whole show is up on iTunes. I'm Vaughan Davis, and this has been Sunday Social. Thank you so much for joining me. Good night.